The American dream has become a big dollar deal for most homeowners.
Let's say $300,000 for the sake of simple math. At 6% commission, 3 and 3, would be $18,000.
Correct. It's real money.
Realtors have told me and will say, it's always been negotiable. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, it hasn't.
This week, one homeowner who went to court and forced a massive sea change in how we all pay for real estate.
In rural Maine, remote landscapes are giving rise to what some call a national security threat.
These grow houses have been linked to transnational Chinese gangs.
A shadowy network of Chinese nationals are growing black market marijuana in a network of illegal operations.
What does that indicate to you?
That there's something larger going on. There's multiple people and it's $1 million business.
El Salvador, once known as murder capital of the world, but after cracking down on crime, the new president had a new idea.
The president called me up. He said, we are going to build Surf City.
A beach that became a new part of an economic and image initiative.
Welcome to Full Measure. I'm Sharyl Attkisson. Today we begin with an important sea change that's taken place in America's $136 trillion real estate market. It stands to impact nearly everyone buying or selling a home. It's all due to a game-changing lawsuit homeowners filed against the National Association of Realtors, challenging how realtors get paid. As a result, realtors now face new rules designed for consumer benefit, but the overhauled system and the fallout are still being sorted out.
This is my barbecue. Great party pool. You can play volleyball.
The best part of Craig Randolph's house is the backyard. Or maybe it's the tricked out garage.
32 Ford with my Harley matching Harley.
Either way, he's hoping it attracts top dollar. Like millions of Americans each year, he's turning to a professional realtor to guide him through selling his home and buying another for a price.
Okay.
We're going to sell both my mother-in-law's house and our house, and we're going to get into a bigger house.
When it comes to how realtors are paid, a landmark lawsuit has upended the industry in ways you may not have heard about, but they affect nearly every home buyer and seller. Jared Bright helped spark this real estate revolution. He joined a class action lawsuit challenging the long-standing structure of the entire U.S. real estate system.
When I sold my home in St. Louis, which was a huge part of this case, I just remember saying, why am I paying someone who I've never met before 3%? No one from the buyer's side ever did anything for me. I was confused. It's the first time I sold a home. And I really wondered, where's the fairness in paying 3% and 3%?
Historically, people selling their home typically paid about 3% of the sales price to their realtor and another 3% to the buyer's realtor.
What's wrong with the 3 perceived non-negotiable fees that go to realtors if people have been happy with that all these years?
Yeah, I think people haven't been happy about that. It's one of those things where it's painful, but you have to do it. That's the way it is. That's the way it's always been done.
The lawsuit claims sellers having to pay the buyer's realtor led to cozy deals between the supposedly competing agents, prioritizing their own shared profits over clients. The lawsuit also took on murky contracts and hidden fees. Bright, a police officer when he sold his house, was promised a 0.5% law enforcement discount by his realtor, but long after closing, he discovered that was never put in the contract.
Do you have any idea what the average price of a house is today? A few $100,000?
I think it's around $350,000.
So let's say $300,000 for the sake of simple math. At 6% commission, 3 and 3, would be $18,000.
Correct.
So when you're talking about paying 0.5% more than you thought, that can be thousands of dollars.
It's real money. On a public servant salary at the time, you know, it was a lot of money. And that is what drew kind of my attention to why am I paying this, or what am I paying for?
The National Association of Realtors and major companies that realtors work under were found guilty of antitrust violations and settled for $500 million. After the Department of Justice, or DOJ, weighed in, the Realtors Group agreed to overhaul its rules, making realtors' pay more competitive. They must now usually disclose compensation up front in writing, clearly stating it's negotiable.
What has changed in the real estate industry as a result of the lawsuit?
So now, because of the competition and the negotiation, there's some upfront paperwork that you're agreeing to a certain price, a certain commission. And that's our opportunity to negotiate these commissions. And that's where you have to have an upfront conversation with your real estate agent and say, what are you giving me?
Bright says today, with tools like Zillow, many buyers and sellers do their own legwork and don't need full realtor services, opening the door to new pricing models.
Look, I think if you're a young real estate agent today and you want to say, I want to sell as many homes as I can in 1 year, then you have to look at, okay, for 1%, I only have to talk to this person one time at the beginning and one time at the end. If 2% says I need to show them 5 homes that aren't on Zillow that they find and send to me, then that's what I'm going to do.
After the landmark lawsuit, Arizona has emerged as a test market for innovative commission models, such as hourly rates for realtors or flat fee services.
Cindy Reddy heads up the Arizona Association of Realtors.
Are you taking a position as to whether the changes are better or worse for the industry, in your view?
What I'm seeing is that it's different. So it's broken down now in the contract, which is not a bad thing. However, it is still confusing. It's confusing to the agents as well as confusing to the clients. And so the piece of the puzzle is for us all to just understand it's a change. I don't believe it's good or bad. I just believe that we are figuring out how to make it work for all our clients.
Can you summarize what the lawsuit claimed was wrong with the business?
I don't know if I can exactly summarize it, but what I'm going to tell you from my perspective is the DOJ just felt that we needed to be, everything needed to be above board, which it always has been, and they've said that, you know, the commissions were set and not negotiable, and I've been doing this for 23 years, and they've always been negotiable.
Realtors have told me and will say, it's always been negotiable. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. It hasn't. It's one of those things where it might have been kind of this sense of we're okay if we say, you know, it was always negotiable. But I think 99% of homeowners out there roughly have never had the opportunity to negotiate that.
The National Association of Realtors declined our interview request, but according to one analysis, since the lawsuit settled late last year, average total realtor commissions have dropped from 5.64% to 4.96%, saving consumers nearly $3,000 on a typical home.
What would you like to think is the takeaway from people if they're hearing there have been changes in the industry that maybe they don't fully understand? What would you like them to know?
Well, number one, they should hire a realtor that really understands the market that they're buying and selling in, because that's where the benefit comes in of having a professional help you with the process and also help you with the confusion of what's happening.
And this is a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, and I think this might...
As Craig Randolph checks out what could be his next home,
That's a walk-in closet.
Walk-in closet.
Yeah.
he's operating in a world of negotiable fees and different rules.
There have been some changes forced that some in the industry, some realtors think are bad. Some consumers argue they're good, but what are your thoughts about the process?
Honestly, all you have to do is find the right realtor and ask all the questions. They will be able to answer all of it.
This is the bonus, 3-car garage.
This is beautiful, Stacy. Thanks for showing me this house.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Before the lawsuit, U.S. real estate fees tended to run a total of 5 to 6% of the price of a house. That's significantly higher than the 1 to 3% in other countries.